Okay, thanks again for staying with us on the program Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. We're to the heart of our discussions today. The Edo State governorship election is built for September 19th, 2020, and some say it's a straight fight between the incumbent governor, who is now in the PDP, Godwin Obaseki, and of course the APC candidate, Pastor Sagi Isayam. Interestingly, in the build-up to the primaries, it's been very cantankerous. We've seen names calling, all of those things. But that is not what should really be our preoccupation. So today on the show, how do we help to shape the course of the narratives and discussions in the campaigns and the messages that will be sent out? Let me welcome the erudite panelists that we have. Professor Benson Osadolo from the University of Benin. Prof, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
We also have with us the Executive Director of Foundation for Good Governance and Social Change, Comrade Austin Osakwe. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers and listeners on radio.
All right, Comrade Austin Osakwe, let me start with you. Establish your perspectives on the major pullouts of the language, the style, and the character of the communications that trailed the primaries. For a moment, I followed up some of the things happening on social media. They were mind-boggling. Let's start off from there.
Well, it's understandable that at the level of internal party contestations, especially where over time we have not had healthy internal party democracy, you would expect a lot of mudslinging, you will expect a lot of name-calling, you will expect the proliferation of fake news, and then of course you expect that historically people will want to unearth what has been said before and weigh them against current realities. I think these are the factors that defined essentially what played out in the build-up to primaries. But it's a different ball game when the campaigns start eventually. The parties now have their candidates, almost all the parties. I understand that there's a primary still holding today. So to meet up with INEC deadline for submission of candidates, all the parties are expected by Monday or thereabouts to have concluded their primaries. So at that point in time, there will be a change in direction of campaigns. Okay. There will be a change in content. There will be a change in the language deployed. Because at that time, it is in the interest of the party and the candidate of that party to ensure that they are able to reach out to the vast majority of the people. You see, the difference between the primaries and the actual campaign for the governorship office is that whereas in the primaries, you're actually appealing to the sentiments of party members who will be going either as party members or as delegates to elect a flag bearer. Once flag bearers have been gotten, you are now going to deliver a message to the people as to what you are bringing on board, why they should give you their votes. Because, arguably, the totality of all the politicians who are seeking to participate in the space are basically less than 1% of the total population, even the voting population. So it is not the political party membership that will determine who becomes governor of Edo State. It is actually the people of Edo State. And the people of Edo State are not going to be interested in all the brickbats that form the basis for contentions of the primary. Yes, some of those things are going to have a bearing. Some of those things are not going to be wished away because they are in the public domain. It will help some people out there to form an opinion of the character of personalities who are seeking to govern them. But more importantly, is that the people want to know what is the plan to provide jobs for the teeming army of unemployed youths. What is the plan that you are putting in place to ensure that electricity gets to the people, to power their homes and power their small-scale businesses? What is the plan you have in place to deepen education? How do you intend to improve the quality of education, to provide infrastructures for education? How do you intend to manage health services? How do you intend to reach out to rural areas and ensure that you give them a better life? What is your plan to recover to ensure that the state recovers from the aftermath of COVID-19. What economic blueprint do you have that you are presenting to the people? And then importantly, while some will be saying, I am coming to do this, others will have the advantage of pointing to what they have done. You can't remove that advantage. So if you have an incumbent who has set milestones and people are actually seeing results, it is easy for such an incumbent to argue that if I have done this that you are satisfied with, I am going to do more, I'm going to extend it, I'm going to consolidate on it. This I have done is good, but you ain't seen nothing yet. So this is where we are.
Thank you. Professor Benson Osadolo. I've heard people say this, that, well, the campaigns are going to be very interesting because in 2016, a whole lot, were said, out there, it's there in the public domain. So we really don't need to produce new jingles. All we just need to do is to take what was said in 2016 and then put it together and then put them out there for the people to see or for the people to hear. I don't know what you make of this line of thinking.
Well, it's very interesting now, particularly as we're in 2020 in Edo State, the election year of a new governor. In 2016, the PDP, through its flag bearer, Pastor Osagie Eze-Iyamu, came up with what he called simple agenda that he defined as a manifesto of hope. The APC, through their own flag bearer, Godwin Noyegase Obaseki, also came out with their own manifesto termed Edo Best Agenda. In all of this, you see Osagie Eze-Iyamu, for example, in 2016, discussing his own agenda within the context of the manifesto and constitution of the PDP. You also see Godwin Obaseki discussing his own Edo Best Agenda within the context of the APC manifesto and constitution. Now this year, 2020, there's a change. Eze-Iyamu is now in APC, Obaseki is now in PDP. So which party manifesto are they going to promote as their own agenda? So that is one basic thing that we're looking at. In which case, like you said, they cannot, the two of them cannot go back to 2016 and use that party agenda and their own manifesto to campaign in 2020.
But even if they do that, is there anything wrong with it?
There's something wrong with it. The candidate who is a flag bearer is supposed to promote the ideals of a political party. The manifesto, a candidate must work his own agenda within the context of the manifesto of the party. In which case, you are not going there on your own to say, okay, this is what I want to do for myself because I'm Obaseki or I'm Eze-Iyamu. You are going there as a flag bearer of a political party to say, this is what this party stands for. This party has core values, has principles. And I, as a flag bearer, this is what I want to do to actualize these dreams, this vision, this mission for Edo people. In which case, sir, this year, 2020, we're going to see, like Austin Osakwe has said, we're going to see a situation where the focus will not be on political parties this time, but the focus will now shift to the individuals, what they think they can offer to the people. But setting agenda for the campaigns will be very difficult. One, we must talk first about resource mobilization. Whatever your agenda you have, Osakwe mentioned education, mentioned health, infrastructure, as well as agriculture and so on and so forth. But how do you mobilize resources to actualize this vision? There are many ways it can be done, and the parties themselves, they know, the candidates themselves, they know. You set up an economic team, or economic management team, for example. Who is going to head it? Don't forget, 5 years ago, United Nations came up with sustainable development goals. They are just now in 2020. How would Edo State key into that kind of sustainable development goals of United Nations. Number 3, what is the blueprint for development? You're not saying this is an agenda that you want to promote because you are a particular party. What is your blueprint? Who are those that have designed these blueprints, and what are the resources available for you to implement it? Don't forget that human resource management will be part of the mobilization for the implementation of the blueprint of that candidate and his party for the people come 2020. How do you sell all of this to the electorate? One big mistake that we often make in this part of the world is that, oh, this party has been in power, it will mobilize people, they will vote for it. It's not correct. Party membership does not constitute even 5% of the total electorate that will go and vote. You have to convince me and my colleagues and my students in the University of Benin, who are not party members, that this is what you want to do, that whenever us go out and vote for you. You have to convince different segments of society, the market women, civil society, and so on and so forth, other professionals, that this is what you want to actualize as a governor, to convince them to go and vote for you. In which case, we are seeing in this kind of campaign that will begin any minute from now, the candidates coming to say, yes, this is my dream, this is my vision about Edo State.
Okay, thank you. Comrade Austin Osakwe, oftentimes people say that it's not the candidates themselves that create this conundrum of mudslinging, names calling in campaigns. Now, we're having a repeat of 2016, so to speak, even though they've swapped positions now. What is the level of political education and awareness on the part of the people to be able to receive this message in terms of using issue-based campaign strategy for the people?
I'll tell you clearly. I happen to have been one of those who have fallen into the error of assuming that people do not know what they want, that politicians are leading people by the nose. The events of the past few weeks have told me clearly that the people actually know what they want, that the people are observant, and that the people are responding to things that are happening within their environment. And I'll give you 3 reasons, quickly. One of the things that has driven the campaign in the past few weeks has been fear. Fear. Look at the videos that are circulating. Look at the social media responses. Look at I watch a lot of the interview segments you have here. Fear is driving the people. And what is this fear? We had a time in this country when people were forced to pay for as many as 3 times for a single land in this Edo State, particularly around the city center. People would go to a community, pay for land, and they would not be able to go to build because you had an army of non-state actors, popularly referred to as egbewejers, who just held sway within the communities. So they sell a land for you, they sell to another person. One of the reasons you saw the activities in the diaspora is that they were most hit by this phenomenon. That people will labor abroad and bring money to buy land here, and then they can't build. The land is sold to some other person and they are helpless. For the past 4 years, for instance, we have seen a receding of this, thanks to the Omonobanedoku Apolopolo of Harwari the Great, and with the incumbent governor, Governor Godwin Norewase Obaseki. It in fact must be said. So people are responding to that fear. Are we going to have this dispensation back? Is this phenomenon going to rear its head again? That's one. Number 2 is that we used to see procession of pensioners protesting on the street on a daily basis. At a time they were putting on black on a daily basis because having worked for the state, and they are tired. The one that the state owes them, which is their pension, to keep them going until God calls them back, they were not getting it. Today, from what I see, we are even having pensioners celebrating the government in power. So there is a fear. What of salaries that come as early as 24th, 25th? So people have celebrated for 4 years. They don't want you to take that away from them. That fear is there. And the third thing, sir, is the fact that, look, whether we like it or not, I like politicians. But the state does not belong to them. The reason we define democracy as government of the majority is that politicians will have their say, but the people should have their way because they are the majority. Okay. But a situation where politics is played in such a way that a few people that some of my friends prefer to refer to as cabal can still sit in a place in one corner and determine what will happen, whether in the choice of candidates who represent parties, whether in the preparation of budgets, the deployment of resources. It's not acceptable. And we have begun to move away from that. So the fear of the people is that, and they have couched it, they say godfathers. I don't know who the godfathers are. But I have seen again and again, people are saying, we have done away with the reign of godfathers, we don't want it entrenched. Okay. So the candidates who are campaigning among the, I think it's up to about 15 political parties now, must reassure those people that when we are talking of this, we are bringing out document, we are talking of this, the fear of the people, they must attend to them.
Okay, let me pause it there. Comrade Austin, thank you. Professor Benson Osadolo, I've had these interactions a couple of times, and people say, well, the things that define our politics, the things that determine the outcomes of an election, they are very, very, very unique to Nigeria and Nigerians. I don't know if you've had that kind of interaction. For instance, people can come out and give perception or perspectives of what they think is happening, but sadly, on election day, either they're at home waiting for the curfew period to elapse so that they can go to the market, or some will go to the farm. And so that brings us back to the same issue of the politicians seizing the day and making it theirs. What are your thoughts?
Well, there are a number of issues to define within these thoughts. Number one, in 1999, when the Fourth Republic took off, the first 8 years, we had elections, and there were evidence of manipulations, rigging, violence, etc. And so, from the very beginning of the takeoff of the Fourth Republic, the electorate lost confidence in the electoral system. So it doesn't really matter. You go and waste your time to go and queue, to go and vote, and in the end, it does not matter. It does not matter because some persons would have sat down somewhere to concoct some results. For example, so while you are busy voting and counting and do whatever you are doing at the various polling centers, those cabals, they are busy elsewhere fabricating results. And in the end, you discover that in a polling station or in a polling unit, where there were about 500 accredited voters, the result is released, you have about 700 voters. And people say, this is all nonsense. Okay. You begin to contest them, it becomes a problem. So that is one of the reasons why people really don't care about all of this. Two, Nigerians are worried that all they do when they go to vote is to empower people.
Who will forget them when they get to power.
Yes, who will forget them when they get to power.
But hasn't this changed over time?
It has not changed. 1/3 of the nation's resources is wasted on politicians. There is no country in the world whose economy bears the burden of politics than Nigeria. National Assembly, the Senate, House of Assembly, look at all their aids, legislative aids, look at the states, look at even local governments. It's extremely expensive. So Nigerians are worried that going to vote, for example, is not all about their own welfare, it's not all about their security, it's not about their happiness, it's not about their freedom, but it's about empowering politicians to become what they want to become, millionaires overnight.
Okay, let me pass you there, Prof. Our studio line is open, 052 290-573. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning. This is Bishop Biso from Sabunda.
Yes, Bishop Biso, go ahead.
I'm great all of you. I've listened carefully to all that has been discussed.
Thank you.
I want to say one thing. In Nigeria today, as Nigeria stands, there is no party that has ideology or manifesto. It is the individual president or governor that comes around to bring out his own manifesto or ideology.
So, Bishop Biso, what are the issues? What are the issues you think should dominate the campaigns for Edo 2020? What are the issues?
Well, the issues are very, very clear now. Now, there is a governor that did very well, so well that people gave him a name, we can see governor. That by the time you sleep, the following morning, you wake up only to discover that your road has been tarred. And who tied it? How was it tied? This is a governor that before the end of the month, pensioners, the same workers are paid their salary. This is a governor that ensured that he had what they call the Edo best, that up to the extent that from Lagos, from other countries all over Africa, they have come around to borrow a lift from that governor.
Okay.
This is a governor that had to offset all the pension arrears of workers. Pension arrears for that matter. Pension arrears that were accruing from other parts.
So you're saying these are the issues that will dominate, that should dominate campaigns.
These are the issues.
All right, thank you.
Nothing more, nothing less.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Bishop Biso from Sabungida. All right, hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is
Okay, so what are your thoughts on what should dominate the discussions? Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I want to speak my mind on the program. So, although I want to use this program, please, I'm a visually impaired person.
We know.
I want them to assist me.
Yes, they will assist you. This is not the platform for us to... Yes, good morning. Good morning. Tell us your name.
My name is Open Secret, the radio professor and the ambassador to the whole world.
So what are the issues you think should dominate Edo 2020 campaigns?
Yes, the issue that should dominate Edo campaign is saying no to agberoism, supporting a governor that will give us infrastructure that will last for a very, very long time, not window curtain dressing. Campaign of no to governalism, that we should allow the people to truly lead.
Thank you. We'll give that opportunity to another person. Hello, caller, please turn down the audio level on your TV or radio. Hello, caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, what are the issues that you think you want to recommend to dominate discussion for Edo 2020?
First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is John Bosco. I'm calling from Ecosodi.
Go ahead.
In regard to the issue that will dominate this 2020 campaign, it's very clear. You see, at a point, we once have a governor who told us that no to godfatherism. And on the long run, we discovered that it is really of a great interest to the Edo indigenous. So this 2020 campaign should basically based on no to godfatherism, no to agberoism, and no to some kind of illegal decisions that will not favor the masses. Today we have the pensioners who are rejoicing, the workers and other sectors. Everybody are happy with it. More or less, look at Ring Road. Far back 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you can't walk freely in Ring Road without being obtained. But today, you can go to Ring Road, do whatever you want to do, live peacefully without any harassment. And look,
all right, that's much time will permit us to
That's
take.
a manifesto.
That's much time will permit us to take for the cause. But this guy just got in. Hello, caller. What's your name? Just a word from you. Hello, caller.
hello.
Yes, turn down the audio level on your TV or radio.
Okay, I am Oshodi.
Yes. What are the issues you want to dominate? Yeah.
Before now, I've never been interested in politics. But this one now, I think I'm interested because of the way Obaseki is taking this whole issue.
All right.
I'm in support with what the professor said just now. That
Okay.
before now, people are scared of
But I think this is an eye-opener that we really can determine what we want as an individual, like an Edo-like.
All right, thank you. My time is up. My time is up. My time is up. So just a last word from me, comrade.
Yes, you know they say the voice of the people is the voice of God. I will have gone much more, but
Yes.
I mean, the people of Edo State who have called in clearly know. They vindicate my position that the people know what they want.
Okay, so let me
We underrate them.
let's proceed there. Prof, a last word from you.
Yes, the key issue in campaigns this year should basically focus on sustainable development in Edo State.
Thank you. That's our program for today. If we have more time, certainly would have loved to take more. But the issues have been well canvassed. We are setting agenda for an issue-based campaign in Edo 2020 governorship election. No names calling, no mudslinging. All that has transpired in the primaries should go with the primaries. Let's focus on the issues. That's our message to all the candidates participating. I want to say big thanks to our panelists and big thanks to you for watching and staying with us and listening if you followed us on radio. My name is Sonny Duke Okosun. Thanking you for staying with us. Have a great weekend.